President Ronald Reagan's first wife. They divorced back in 1948. Now back to Hardball.
Welcome back to Hardball. General Petraeus testified today all day that he's recommending drawdown of troops over the next year to 139,000 from the 169,000 we're at right now. So with the small security gains in a few limited parts of the country, what does he hope to achieve overall with fewer troops? Tonight, the Hardball debate couldn't be hotter. Does the U.S., our country, have a clear definition of its mission in Iraq, or is the slow troop reduction merely a holding pattern in this nearly 5-year-old war? Pete Hegseth is with the Vets for Freedom, and John Saltz is with VoteVets.org. Good evening, gentlemen. I want you to start, Pete. I didn't hear a lot of definition tonight, or all day today, rather, from Petraeus or Ambassador Crocker. How close are we getting to the goal in Iraq, which the whole surge was meant to give us a chance at, which is a government in Baghdad that could defend itself?
I think, Chris, what they said is that we're getting closer because the first step in doing that is providing real security on the ground for the population. And General Petraeus laid out exactly how civilian deaths, sectarian deaths, all these metrics are trending in the right direction, which eventually, and it's not going to happen immediately, we've only had a full complement of troops for just under 3 months now, eventually should provide the security conditions for an Iraqi government.
But we're reducing the number of troops by next summer, so they must feel they've accomplished something. What is it?
They have accomplished something.
What is it they've accomplished?
And then Iraqi security forces can hold that security environment and continue to improve it. But you can't assess success or failure.
When you watched today for all those hours, did you ever get a sense of how close we're getting to a government that can defend itself over there?
I think it's definitely frustrating. Hey,
no, I just want to know. Did you get any?
No, you can't get a sense because it has to be
5 years, 10 years?
It has to be conditions-based, and that's what Petraeus and Crocker both laid out. Is you cannot. There's no DC timeline.
The president. Let me go to John. The president called for a surge for a purpose, not just to have a surge, but to create a breathing space for these politicians in Iraq. Well, what they did is they went on vacation.
But I think today when you...
So are we any closer to our goal of a government over there that can defend itself? Nobody denies the American army can stay there as long as it wants and defend themselves while they're there. The question is, are we building a country that can defend itself so we can leave? Are we getting any closer to that goal after 6 years?
We're not getting closer on two aspects. I mean, militarily, we have not gone after the Shia militias. We haven't gone after the Mahdi army. We haven't gone after the Badr Corps. We're playing whack-a-mole. Diyala is much less stable than it was now before. And I think what you saw today when they said they're going to lower troop levels next April, I mean, that's really what this is about, and it said it. If we were successful in the surge, you would have kept more troops there. This is a political strategy.
For what purpose?
For two things. First off, so the president doesn't have to lose. This isn't about winning anymore. This is about a president who doesn't want to be a president who loses.
Why is he cutting the troops by 30,000?
Because there's two reasons for that. First is that the American army, you've got 20 brigades in Iraq, you've got 42 in the active component army. So you have to do a rotation there 15 months. 20 brigades out, 20 brigades in. I mean, that's pretty much it. Plus you have Korea commitments, and you have Afghanistan. And I think the second issue is that you've got these moderate Republicans that are in big trouble. You've got the Chris Shays out there, the Tim Murphys in Pennsylvania. You've got Jim Gerlach's in Pennsylvania. These guys are going to have hard races. They've lined themselves up with the president. How do they survive? So this is their chip. Here, we're going to draw down 30,000 troops. So this is about politics.
Let me ask you, why are we reducing the troop complement by 30,000?
What John is saying is that this is all about politics.
That's exactly
what I'm telling you is that General Petraeus didn't come here wearing red or blue, right or left. He came here as
Where did he get the 30,000 troop level from, the reduction?
Because he believes that we will create the security environment that would allow that. Don't we all want to bring our troops home with honor? And we want to reduce 30,000 troops because they've created a security environment that doesn't provide a haven for al-Qaeda. And that's exactly what General Petraeus believes we can do by the summer of next year.
He didn't speak much about al-Qaeda today.
He absolutely
It came up at the end of the question. He mainly talked about what he called the ethnic sectarian dispute over there.
Actually, in the first or second paragraph, he referenced how the reason that we're making the gains we're making is because we've severely hurt al-Qaeda's capabilities. No, in Baghdad.
What I found frustrating, I go back to this, the president's own words in January. He said, let's take a look at what the president, let him speak for himself.
So America will change our strategy to help the Iraqis carry out their campaign to put down sectarian violence and bring security to the people of Baghdad. This will require increasing American force levels. So I've committed more than 20,000 additional American troops to Iraq. The vast majority of them, 5 brigades, will be deployed to Baghdad. These troops will work alongside Iraqi units and be embedded in their formations. Our troops will have a well-defined mission to help Iraqis clear and secure neighborhoods, to help them protect the local population, and to help ensure that the Iraqi forces left behind are capable of providing the security that Baghdad needs.
So there you have it. The whole purpose of the search was to get Baghdad in shape for the politicians to do their job. And yet today, Petraeus over and over was given a chance, and so was Crocker, to explain what political progress has been made in all these months. I didn't hear anything.
I didn't either. But this is about politics. I can't stress this enough. I mean,
about domestic politics?
This is absolutely
no,
about
the politics of Iraq.
We're
fighting for them to have a democracy.
If this was a military strategy, why didn't General Petraeus come here and say, you know what, we've had great success. I need more troops for Diyala province. I need the president to mobilize this nation for war. I need the president to ask our military. I need our president to ask young men and women in this country to volunteer for the military like they should be for this war. I need the president of the United States to create an interagency process that makes the State Department actually do their job with DOD here. I need the president of the United States to stand up and tell the American public that we need to mobilize civilian industry so we can get MRAPs to Iraq. He hasn't done this. This is not about winning.
What John is going to come in and what John's going to come in and do no matter what is criticize what General Petraeus has done. When in reality, the reason he came to say that we might be able to reduce troop levels is because we've had great success in that country.
Explain it. Just tell me. You got a minute. Tell me what we're doing over there to create a democracy.
In the areas we're providing security. Chris, think about it. You couldn't go
I keep asking. The goal is not to have military power in the Middle East. The goal is to create a democracy over there. Are we doing that?
Chris, you got to let me answer the question.
I am.
The only way we can create that kind of democracy that needs to be there is to dampen the violence. Imagine if bombs were going up in the street.
What's gotten done in the meantime?
We've increased troop levels in Baghdad.
What is happening in creating the government we want to create?
We are dampening sectarian violence.
To what effect?
If you look at the trends, they're down 50, 60, 70.
Kill bin Laden, and that's why Admiral Fallon, and that's why the
president laid out the mission. The mission is not military power in the Middle East. The mission was to establish a defensible, stable, democratic government in Iraq. Are we doing that now?
Too slow on the political side. I totally agree.
That's what we all agree on. We're in agreement. All this argument, we agree. Thank you, Pete Hegseth. Thank you, John Saltz. Up next, the